Did you know that certain words can send an involuntary shiver down a woman's spine and make her see you in a completely different way? Most men make mistakes when giving compliments, wasting opportunities without even realizing it. But today, I'm going to reveal 3 forbidden compliments that trigger an unconscious desire and make her feel something impossible to ignore. But be careful, because after hearing this, she will never see you the same way again. Have you ever tried complimenting a woman thinking it would make her feel special, only to realize that nothing really changed? Or worse, that she even pulled away afterward? I know how frustrating that can be. Many men believe that compliments are the key to winning over a woman, but the problem isn't the compliment itself, it's how it's given. What most don't realize is that some words awaken deep desire, while others simply go unnoticed. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to use the right compliments to create that irresistible spark. I remember a friend who always told women the classic, "You're beautiful." He thought that was enough to make an impact. But the truth is, it was just another generic compliment she had heard 1,000 times before. No emotion, no surprise, no effect. And guess what? The conversation died right after. Until one day, he tried something different. An unexpected compliment that activated her mind in a completely new way. The result? She became visibly more engaged, curious, and even started leading the conversation. The secret isn't in complimenting her looks like everyone else does. It's about touching something deeper, something more personal, something that sparks her imagination and creates an instant, emotional connection. When a man knows how to compliment the right way, he awakens a feeling in her that even she can't explain. It's like a part of her is activated without her realizing it, making him memorable, different, impossible to ignore. But what almost no one tells you is that the most powerful compliments aren't obvious, and that's exactly why you need to understand what makes a compliment irresistible and what makes a compliment forgettable. The difference between a man who sparks desire and a man who gets placed in the whatever zone can come down to just a few words. But here's the catch. Most men make a critical mistake without even realizing it. A mistake that kills any chance of making a compliment actually work. And if you've done this, you may have lost opportunities without even knowing it. Most men don't realize that certain compliments, instead of attracting, can push a woman away. That's because they often say what they think she wants to hear, without considering how it actually resonates in her mind. The problem isn't in the act of complimenting, but in the predictable and empty way it's done. When a man throws out a generic compliment like, "You're so beautiful," he's not standing out. He's just reinforcing what she has heard countless times before without giving her a reason to care. Now, think about it. How often have you seen a woman truly light up after hearing a common compliment? Probably almost never. That's because the words don't trigger any intense emotion. A compliment only has an impact when it makes a woman feel unique, when it sparks something inside her that makes her look at you differently. Without that, you're just another guy trying to impress her, not someone who truly captivates her imagination. And here's another detail many don't realize. A poorly delivered compliment can actually decrease attraction. Have you ever had a woman seem interested at first, but after a few exaggerated or obvious compliments, she suddenly lost interest? That's because, for a woman, desire doesn't come from easy validation. What really holds her attention is the feeling that there's something special about you, something that makes your words carry weight. And that only happens when the compliment creates an unexpected emotion. And this is exactly where most men fail. The way you compliment can make all the difference between igniting genuine desire or being completely ignored. But there is a right way to do this. A way to compliment that activates a woman's instincts and triggers an involuntary attraction response. And when you learn how to use this type of compliment, the effect is almost magical. The truth is, there's a way to compliment that triggers a deep response in the female subconscious. It's not about inflating her ego with obvious words, nor about being just another guy trying to please her. It's about activating an emotional trigger that makes her feel something different, something that makes her want to be close to you without even understanding why. These compliments aren't conventional, and that's exactly why they work. They break the pattern of what she's used to hearing and spark an irresistible curiosity within her. One of the biggest mistakes men make is thinking that a compliment needs to be a long speech or something overly elaborate. In reality, the most effective compliments are simple but packed with intention. When you learn to say the right words, at the right moment, with the right energy, you create an emotional experience for her. And that experience gets imprinted in her mind in a way that few men can achieve. The impact isn't just in what is said, but in how it makes her feel. Now, imagine a compliment that doesn't just catch her attention, but sends an involuntary shiver down her spine. Something that makes her hold her breath for a second because it touched a part of her she wasn't expecting. This type of compliment isn't about praising her obvious beauty. It's about making her feel like there's something about her that sets her apart from every other woman. This is the kind of compliment that sneaks into her thoughts and makes her keep replaying what you said long after the conversation is over. And the best part, this effect has nothing to do with looks, status, or money. What truly makes the difference is the way you lead the conversation and how you use these strategic words. But before I reveal exactly what these forbidden compliments are, there's something you need to understand first. Something that can multiply the effect of these words and make the experience even more intense for her. Many men believe that complimenting a woman is just about choosing the right words, but there's an even more powerful factor: timing. The same compliment can have a deep impact or go completely unnoticed depending on when and how it's said. If you throw out a compliment at the wrong time, it can sound forced or even desperate. But when you get the timing right, it becomes a trigger that activates her imagination and makes her see you in a completely new way. The most common mistake is complimenting too soon, before building any kind of tension or connection. When a man compliments without any prior emotional engagement, the woman sees it as an obvious attempt to score points. And guess what? That doesn't create desire. On the other hand, when a compliment comes in the middle of an engaging conversation, when there's eye contact and a bit of mystery in the air, the effect is completely different. She doesn't just hear the words, she feels them. Another easily overlooked mistake is how the compliment is delivered. If it comes with a hesitant tone of voice or insecure body language, it loses all its power. But if it's said naturally, with a subtle pause right after, almost as if it slipped out unintentionally, it becomes irresistible. Because it's not just about the compliment itself, it's about the emotional experience it creates in that moment. When a compliment is well-timed, it doesn't just make her feel attracted, it creates a kind of invisible tension. That feeling that something is in the air, something she can't ignore. And this tension is what separates an average compliment from a compliment that truly taps into female instincts. But pay close attention, because not all compliments have this power. There are 3 in particular that, when used the right way, send a shiver through a woman's body without her even understanding why. Now that you understand the power of timing and delivery, let's get to what really matters. The 3 compliments that make any woman feel an involuntary shiver. These compliments aren't common, and that's exactly why they work. They activate deep triggers in the female subconscious, creating an instant connection between emotion and desire. When used correctly, they don't just make her feel special. They awaken an attraction within her that even she can't explain. The first compliment is, "There's something about you that completely intrigues me." Simple, yet extremely powerful. Unlike obvious compliments, this one creates mystery. It makes a woman wonder, what exactly did I spark in him? That thought alone already makes her start seeing you differently. But the secret to making this work lies in how you say it. A subtle pause after the phrase, steady eye contact, and a slight smirk at the corner of your mouth turn this compliment into a silent bomb of attraction. The second compliment is, the way you talk is very addictive. The impact of this phrase comes from the fact that you're complimenting something unique about her. It could be the way she laughs, how she plays with her hair, the way she looks at you when she's interested. When a man notices and praises something that no one else has, he becomes unforgettable. This compliment works because it makes her feel like there's something about her that pulls you in, something that fascinates you in a way she didn't even know was possible. And finally, a compliment that is pure tension and desire in disguise. I shouldn't be telling you this, but this phrase alone instantly puts her mind on high alert. Curiosity spikes, and she needs to know what comes next. When you follow up with something unexpected, like, "There's something about your energy that makes me want to be around you all the time," you create an atmosphere of intimacy without even needing to touch her. And this is where the magic happens. Attraction begins before she even realizes it. But how can you tell if the compliment really worked? There are subtle signs that clearly show when you've triggered this response. When a compliment is truly effective, a woman doesn't just hear it, she feels it. And that's what separates an ordinary compliment from one that provokes a physical and emotional reaction. But how can you tell if you've had that impact? The answer lies in the subtle signs her body and behavior reveal without her even realizing it. Small gestures, changes in expression, tone of voice. All of these things expose what's happening inside her mind. One of the clearest signs that a compliment worked is prolonged eye contact. If, after hearing what you said, she looks at you a second longer than usual, it means your words triggered something in her. It could be a mix of curiosity, surprise, or even a feeling she didn't expect to have. This kind of look doesn't lie. It's one of the most primal instincts of attraction, and when it happens, it means your presence now has a different effect on her. Another unmistakable sign is a shift in her body language. It could be touching her own neck, playing with her hair, a shy smile, or slightly biting her lower lip. These gestures happen involuntarily when a woman feels something awakening inside her. And if, beyond that, she leans her body toward you or starts lightly touching you during the conversation, congratulations. Your compliment didn't just work, it made her want to be even closer to you. But there's a detail that few people notice. Sometimes, the biggest sign isn't what she does in the moment, but what happens afterward. If she starts reaching out to you for no apparent reason, replies to your messages faster, or finds excuses to extend the interaction, it means something's stuck in her mind. And that's exactly what a powerful compliment does. It stays. It creates an emotional mark that keeps working in your favor. But if you really want to amplify this effect, there's a next step that can make everything even stronger. Now, you already understand how a simple compliment can completely change the way a woman perceives you, but let me ask you something. What if there was a method that didn't just make her attracted to you, but emotionally obsessed with you? Something that triggered in her mind an irresistible desire to be by your side, to think about you all the time, even without understanding why? This isn't manipulation or cheap tricks. It's pure psychology applied to attraction. The truth is, there are hidden triggers in the female brain that make a woman feel such a strong connection that she starts seeing you as someone completely different from all the other men. It doesn't matter what you look like, your status, or your bank account. When you learn to activate these triggers the right way, she feels drawn to you in a way that's beyond her control. And the best part? Almost no men know about this. Most keep making the same mistakes, thinking they need to impress or prove something, when in reality the secret lies in something much simpler and far more powerful. If you finally want to understand how to awaken this type of connection and make her feel an uncontrollable urge to be close to you, then I have something special to show you. There's a hidden detail in the female mind that can completely change the way you interact with women. And if you want to learn how to activate it naturally and authentically, click on the first pinned comment. But a warning, this information won't be available forever. The ones who discover it first will be light years ahead of the competition. Now, imagine a method so powerful that even she wouldn't understand why she can't stop thinking about you. This is real. And if you want to uncover this secret, the link is right there in the first comment. And of course, if this video helped you, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because I share tips that no one else dares to reveal.